that they used to use in the past. They had a lot of success on this map last stage. Let's be honest about it. They were one of the kings of Haven in North America for quite some time earlier this year.
No, that's a really good shout.
They were like on a crazy undefeated streak until they lost to Cloud9 in the group stage. Like they were crushing everybody, and now they're trying to return back to that comfort, and so far, so good.
Oh, how about this little play for TSM trying to sneak their way over towards A? Will quickly track back as they realize they're running into Jonah P, which is not an agent that you want to run into. So Sabrosa will re-clear Akka over through C-Link. Net has safely found himself a cubby to work in. And interesting left, TSM is staying flexible here. It could catch him a bit off guard, and yeah, sure has. Corey's going to find one to open things up, and that's going to lead to a spike plant.
This is a pattern that TSM has done on some of their bonuses and force buys, is just attack these link areas through B and use that to get close quarters battles and create a little bit of a ruckus. Unfortunately for them, it's not going to really benefit more than a spike play, but hey, that's still at least some economy gained. At least they made things a little bit spicy for a moment there, but the guard will eventually settle in. This will be their third round in a row. Starting to get their defense flowing. Certainly nice to see. Because again, the guard, big story of last stage, winning the whole thing. Didn't do so great at champions, obviously, but return still kind of seen as a front runner, but 0-2 in the groups, and this is their moment. I mean,
yeah,
it's hard to say for sure, but you'd imagine if they do take a loss in the series today, they're probably out the playoff picture. I mean, it's not impossible to make playoffs, but it puts you in a really rough spot where it's unlikely. So this is good to see them kind of fired up early. But TSM, they still have plenty of pages to turn in the playbook, so to speak.
I love the fact that even though they've lost now 3 rounds in a row, TSM are still kind of creating opportunities. Yeah. Even if it was just an eco, it just goes to show that they're willing to play their style of the game, and they're not going to look to back off that whatsoever. So an important round here, though, just to try to get things back on track if you're TSM.
Yeah, it's like a very similar
setup at guard.
Very similar to like
a setup here, Dust.
Yeah, very lots of stuff set up over there, like you said, between the Astra and the Killjoy. So it's going to be a very tough spot to attack, which is possible because we're seeing them kind of get to grass. Like they maybe want to start taking some garage control, so that certainly could come into play. But yeah, TSM's been kind of just like playing this kind of Optic-esque, you know, composition with the Neon for 7 and that double initiator of Breach and Sky, and it works really well on this map. They are starting to get a little bit bogged down here. The guards finding ways to fin back now that they've found their comfort again.
Right there.
On Saya players starting to lurk up A long with this operator.
Yeah.
A couple of pings have come over this direction, but Saya player may have beat the timing. Sure has. There's the easy kill. Charges up the dash, doesn't need it yet, and things have gone from bad to worse here for TSM, who either need to force their way through the operator of Saya player or through all of that defensive utility. And actually, how about this? Seven's going to run right on into him. What in the heavens has happened right here? Saya player's still alive.
Okay.
No one can find each other.
Everything's fine, Shift. No need for concern. That definitely took a lot longer than it should have, and it was quite awkward, but they do eventually get that trade off the utility. But look at this Rolling Thunder, not allowing the spike to go down. Hunter's Fury coming through as well. Really making this thing chaotic, and there's so little time left for TSM to respond. But Corey, he does get his man onto Jonah P. But the lockdown continues to cause problems, but they're finding a way to plant through it.
Oh, and they do get the spike down just in the nick of time. The defenders at Heaven not able to get an angle, so now we go to a 3v2 favoring TSM. It's all down to Trent just like this for the 1v2. He finds the first one down low. Now it's the last 1v1 with Rossi in the corner. He sees the feet, but Rossi's happy to take the gunfight. It doesn't matter. Trent for the 1v2 and a 4K. Gets a Red Bull clutch for the guard.
Oh, and that's the Studley Trent you were looking to see today. Obviously, such a big name to come out of the last stage. Basically coming out of nowhere, for honest, very much out of obscurity, became kind of an instant star in the region, playing a role like the one he's playing right now on Sova. Obviously had a tough time at his first LAN and tough settling into this stage, but this is what you really want to see if you're the guard fan. It's Trent getting fired up, getting a big Red Bull clutch for you, and keeping this pace up for the guard. This is now several rounds in a row. Matches this stage so far, they just looked a little bit not on the same page, a little sloppy, like that they weren't as refined as we're used to seeing, but this is more like it.
Let's play.
For to force out for Corey, everyone else with rifles for TSM's offense after the timeout. Rossi actually looks like he may have gained the orb. Yeah, sure has. He's got his full Rolling Thunder ready to go, and that was all TSM wanted, so they'll restructure and likely look to head over towards A.
Yeah, obviously heard the operator firing off some Seiya player at C, but Seiya player's made a pretty quick rotation to get back to A. It seems like he has a pretty good read of what's going on. Trent still kind of the early detection system. kind of jiggle peeking through long, now gets back into sight. Say a player will now take up towards sewers. Will they expect this? That's the big question. He initiates Tailwind, gets his shot. He's able to get away. Can he slow him down? Yes, he can. What a shot on the 7.
That is unbelievable. 7 looking for the trade, immediately turned aside. GMD, though, does get into the site. With the Rolling Thunder cutting across, it opens up the opportunity for maybe the offensive moment to get to work. And get to work he has. Corey followed up behind. It turns us now to a 3v3 situation with TSM able to plant.
Yeah, that was a great response from TSM in just the nick of time, but will they expect this flank from net through long? It's coming so quickly. They have a player in sewers as kind of a anchor point, but they're just not ready for this pinch, perhaps, as Gamal does get Jonah P down. That alleviates some pressure, but there comes that flank into play, and we're back to equal footing.
GMD in the corner takes a couple of shots. Valen now very aware that there's a player in the corner, but as the dark cover fades away, it's GMD for 1. Now it's down to a 1v1. Net catches where Corey's positioned. One more toggle. Corey gonna wait. Not biting on it whatsoever. And those last shots will guarantee hasn't gotten to halfway yet. Corey will finish off the last kill, and TSM will finally hold the post plant.
Wow, what a recovery from TSM within the midst of that round. You have to give credit to Saya player. He was absolutely destroying that initial look to take the A side before they could even get Rolling Thunder out and really start trying to execute. He just caused that mass disruption in sewers with a double. Particularly this kill on the 7's outrageous. But Gabon uses Rolling Thunder to get under Heaven and then starts going to work here with Corey to start chipping back at the round. While Net's flank does get some success, Corey able to win out the 1v1 and put an end to this streak from the guard as we are right into the midst of things. Look, a Saya player trying to get aggro with the Bladestorm at C is kind of fended off, though.
We'll force a lot of utility to reclaim this, though, before TSM could do too much. So, for the guard, you've at least created time in this defense. And actually, they're going to challenge Saya player. I don't know why you would. He's on fire right now.
Yeah, he's feeling it.
We'll take down one with him.
Yeah, I mean, they probably had an idea he was up there, so they were trying to attack. That didn't quite work, but now the utility comes out to try to push forward towards the platform. So Rosa able to get the entry onto Jonah P. Seekers put Saya player out of the equation, and they follow up nicely with the double entry on 7.
Yeah, good answer there. The Seekers making sure the knives have to be put down. And now Sabrosa cutting off reinforcements. Well designed by TSM. Saya player definitely had a couple lined up, but can only take down one off the initial peak, and TSM say that's good enough for us to still force it forward and likely take our 4th round.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the strength of TSM, is around just like that. It's just the rapid pace attacks with the layered utility. You know, they have double flashes capable to allow 7 to kind of get trebucheted forward with support. And then they have the guys who can follow up and frag, you know, to kind of be behind the tip of the spear, which is 7. And that's TSM's strength right now, with this kind of dual calling system where Subrosa's calling the shots on attack from the initiator role. He just kind of prompts these just really rapid executes. And if you don't do anything to disrupt them, if they can get comfortable, if they can get their feet underneath them, they are so deadly with the firepower that they possess in all roles to just make these fast-paced attacks work.
I've got your trail.
Another look at it from this point of view. Just so much blocking. You can't even see these Seekers until you're in your face.
Yep.
And yeah, there's nothing Saya player could do from that point forward. So yeah, it's just, I still have to give a lot of credit. I know we're kind of taking a lot of our narrative focus towards can the guard recover after their first 2 weeks, but TSM has been doing this since the beginning of qualifiers, and that's one of the reasons why they are a major threat in this group.
Yeah, TSM's kind of back to being interesting again for sure. They've been through so many changes over the years, with Subrosa being the only OG left.
Yeah.
Obviously 2 big changes at the beginning of the year, and then 2 more just, what, back in early April, mid-April? So it's been a huge restructuring process for TSM, but they have come into this group stage looking ferocious, particularly against that 100 Thieves lineup last week. Looked really deadly in that one with the role changes. Now they're up against pretty much an eco here from the guard, finding a free C site.
Well done.
Okay, Corey gets busted there.
Pick. Yeah. So Sabrosa, wait, Sabrosa's actually going to reach
alone.
Challenge. If they get the trade here, this will be weapons for the guard. This is a very doable round. There's the flash out. But Jonah cannot finish it off quite enough. That is a helpful concussive fault line on the way through to try to make sure that Sabrosa stays safe.
Yeah.
And with that, TSM may have just locked down this post plant.
That was a bad timing, though. Sabrosa could have been in a lot of trouble, but now he's getting support from his teammate Rossi, and they're able to anchor down here at Long C, which is really helping because Net was certainly creating some pressure here from Garage.
One enemy remaining.
That's still doing some work here. Goodness. A destructive round to be sure. Net was the only one who brought a rifle to battle. And he's got the opportunity to maybe even put some more damage in, but instead decides, nope, gotta save it. So we'll run away, but man, I'm telling you, you're absolutely right. Sabrosa falls down there. There's an opportunity where guards secure that round, so getting away with the skin of their teeth is TSM.
There was definitely a window where Rossi wasn't quite there yet to help him out, where if he would have gotten caught off that first flash, he would have been in some trouble, but he wins his first 1v1 duel, able to counter flash and buy time for Rossi to get there to help them anchor down that position. And so, just like that, all of a sudden TSM have banged out a few in a row. Now they're back in the lead. Very fragile economy for the guard going forward right now. If they were to lose this, they might be back to saving, and TSM could really start creating a gap here.
Yeah. We'll see. Trailblazer outside player will be scouted by this. Already has Tailwind charged up, but we'll just instead Cloud Burst and go up high. So Fastlinder's already been pulled for TSM, but they're not going to utilize it. It definitely has pulled the guard a little bit more respect towards A defensively, and that seems to be good enough for TSM.
You've burned some utility over there at A. You've also caused a disturbance. You've caused a rotation. This has probably caused a gap here at Garage or B site. That's the read that they have, and they'd be correct in it. You start to see them putting that pressure on Garage right now. Oh, that's a nice one. Net knew what type of angle he would force 7 into with his utility and took the fight and won it. That's big.
GD commit to the front of the shadows, and he's not going to find anything. What a defensive play here from Net. The setup to assist for the first blood over through Garage, and then tracking back to make sure that the offensive omen could do nothing. And now a defensive lockdown, which is going to be a problem, although Sabrosa is trying to sneak around to deny it, and it's not going to work out, and that very well will likely be the round with it as, well, Corey's detained. Trying to get to a quarter. He will get there just barely.
Yeah. I mean, this is a done deal. And Net looks like he's feeling it again. I mean, obviously, they kind of shoved him on the breach for 3 maps last week, and his first 3 times playing breach in an official match was that series. And now that he's back on Killjoy, back to a Sentinel role, he is feeling it. He is very much feeling back in his comfort zone, and that was a big round from him just now.
Crucial one as well, because it very well could have been another difficult financial situation from the guard going into the late stages of this first half, but now we get to another full gun round, and one that will have an astral divide, cosmic divide rather, to play for the Astra. And this is just, again, just textbook play from Net, as mentioned. It's not just the fact that the setup works out well. He knows exactly where his safety net is, quite literally moving back over towards using the lockdown. And it's just, yeah, that's just what you want to see out of a Sentinel player.
And a big round to do it because their economy was in a bad way. If they lose that round, they're likely losing a couple in a row, and TSM's building up the lead. But now they keep things at equal footing. 5 apiece, very back and forth affair here in the mid portion of this first half. TSM wasting no time. It looks like wanting to put that pressure yet again on Garage. They spot the Killjoy utility. They get the stun on him. They force Net back. So they will take the space, but Seiya player cuts off the other angle.
Yeah, that all of a sudden makes it essentially a non-factor making a play through Garage when the operator is only worried about that play through tunnel. So a quick rotation back through grass, and not just into B, but through it. And Trent is the only real defensive entity here at A link at the moment. But Jonah just long inside a spawn. He thought they had done enough. But instead, it has to be down to Trent to come back through. It's even exchange, taking us to a 3v2, but the spike is planted.
Yeah, again, TSM likes to attack that A-Link on these B attacks, and they're usually pretty successful with it, particularly against 100 Thieves last week, but the guards done a really good job just kind of playing a little bit more back and absorbing that pressure and then coming out on top in the trades. And that's why they have man advantage here on this retake, and they're going to roll into a victory, it seems. Rossi trying to hold on for dear life. Does get away, has Rolling Thunder. This could actually get interesting.
Oh, sure will. There it goes. It gets popped. He's going to take the knife out, re-wrap back over towards mid. Fault line comes through. Aftershock comes out as well. That's going to force him off the spike once again. Halfway defused. Net gets the kill. Is there enough to finish off the defuse? No! It's going to be a clutch! What a play from Rossi!
Oh man, I was just discussing how well the guard was managing the A-link pressure TSM was trying to instill post-plant, and how it was giving them a huge edge on the retake and the man count, and that was certainly the case. But Rossi does just enough. He gets this frag here that gives him a chance to escape with his ult, get into garage. This is the first level of disruption. But then he still has to come back around with the fault line, the aftershock, to add that additional layer, and he's able to buy just enough time to not allow this diffuse to come through. What a big moment for Rossi, and kind of a new role too. By the way, one of his first kills of the whole game right now.
Big one, especially considering that Saya player had him dead to rights. Saw the barrel of the gun the whole way through, but this time we go fast lane, right into high gear, as it will be 7 on the way through. Finger guns in hand. Seeker's also a part of the equation, as the guard are actually overwhelming through a lobby. This is going to result in a free plant. Hunter's Fury's a little bit late, but it does still collect a kill into Rossi. In response, Cora in the backhand side, not done yet. Trailblazer will scout out to the guard, is still threatening from this A-link. Backside of it, Saya player trying to make his way forward. 7, the timing is perfect, and TSM collect the kills needed.
Wow. Wow, indeed. This is something the guard has been kind of known for, defensive haven, is these AAA lobby pushes, right? And so TSM calling a gut shot C-rush, maybe having an idea of that tendency, I mean, is huge, right? It's like one of those things where either we're right and they put a lot of presence A early and we find the gap and we expose that, or, you know, at worst, maybe we have to deal with 2 players attacking side that got him against Ghost. 1 round on attack in a full 12-round half. Gonna need a lot better than that. But back to more comfortable roles, back to kind of what you'd expect. This is a composition they've been able to do a lot of work in the past with, or one similar to this, I should say, as they were, you know, over 60% attack win rate last stage.
Well, we'll see what happens here, as Net has already gotten a little bit of information on someone crossing from B to A, but Corey is very far forward. Recon Bolt makes him reconsider. There's the peek, and the rendezvous will get him out of dodge, at least for now. But that does allow an opportunity for the guard to start stepping forward towards A.
Indeed it does. They start walking their way up. They have Sewer's presence as well right now. Trent are still kind of poking and prodding at garage with Net. That's kind of keeping the TSM defense interested over on this side of the map. But now they know what's up. Smokes are down. Players are in. Spike making its way forward, and Net might cut off this rotation. Yeah, he does. That's huge.
Spike planted.
Rossi down is a major factor for TSM on the retake, and oh, how about this? Sevens is going to try to force it forward with Corey watching over top, and it's really not going to work out the way it was designed. GMD not moving at the moment for TSM. So it's up to Corey to try to make something happen. Not going to work out. Wow. And this is what we need to see from the guard. It's not just compositional changes. We need to see them start doing better on pistols.
Yeah, that's certainly a good point. As I'm wondering, is like Yamalin lagged out or something?
I don't know.
He has not budged. Apparently, I'm getting confirmation he did indeed lag out, so that's unfortunate. So we'll have a technical pause here after this round's come to a close.
Still, though, long lurk from Net is honestly win condition right there from the guard. You get Rossi off the table, and I mean, there's just not an opportunity next week's match for them, and then they also have NRG to finish things off. So
yeah,
it would be like a do or die. You have to win. I mean, you kind of have to win these 3.
Yeah, you really they kind of guarantee it or give yourself a solid shot. Yeah, for sure.
Otherwise, you start to hope that other teams do things poorly, which is never great. We get back into it after the tech pause. It's going to be the guard now searching things out towards C. Aldrin actually going to catch some pretty significant information, but that will be all that they want. And Zaya player and 7 dancing around one another. 7 playing very close to this wall. Guiding light through middle, and this is all going to be heard. 7's going to quickly reposition.
Yep, definitely got to go. That is very true. You need to get out of here. There's a lot of trouble beats. And kind of play in the sewers and try to see if he can make something happen. And he gets caught up there, and I mean, it's just kind of the mowdown you'd expect.
Yeah.
Considering the firepower discrepancy. It's going to square us up at 7-all.
Yeah, it seemed like a situation where 7 was thinking I was damned if I did, damned if I didn't.
Sure.
Enemy remaining.
Comes to where he was positioned up to it, so now it's up to Corey. Can he make anything happen, or will it be a Prime Gaming flawless first one so far this week? And yes, it will be. So it's a pistol plus the follow-up for the guard to get us back to a 7-7 game. An important round here coming up, I would say, for both sides' perspectives.
Yeah, TSM, you want to cash in against this bonus. If you're the guard and you pull off the bonus, you're feeling like you're back.
Yeah.
You're feeling like the scrim bucks are about to get cashed in
Remaining.
Take him to the bank.
all the way to the moon.
Let's see.
Let's see. Yep. Jinx.
You owe me a Coke.
No, I call the Jinx, so you owe me one.
Well, I thought we were doing this whole back and forth thing. I thought it was pretty cute, so I thought I'd just keep it
No,
up. Damn. All right.
mountain stakes are that high. That's a beverage, sir.
Quick rotation through Garage with a Nebula to cover the defensive link will allow a free plant to come through, but look at TSM. Happy to give this away. Well, I should say maybe not happy, but okay in regards to give this away. Looking to play off of a long flank, but the interesting thing about this is Net is here and playing in a forward angle, which should allow him an easy 1-for-1.
This is a tough retake. No ults on the table. Just got to go with base utility and just trying to slice your way in. Obviously, the guard are pretty organized in how they're set up right now. They have plenty of utility to disrupt spike diffuses.
An opening exchange comes through, but but Net falls on the long flank. Hold on a second. TSM don't have to worry about those nanostorms we just saw in the picture-in-picture all of a sudden. But the problem is the clock. There's not a lot of time left. It just took too long, honestly.
Yeah, Sabros was getting a lot of work done, that long C flank, but they just couldn't get that extra angle of approach to really get into the site and feel comfortable. Great hold by the guard on site. Even as Sub-Rosa was causing a ruckus in the back line, they were able to hold where they needed to.
One down.
Holding this back hauls off from Saya player was huge, as well as being on the turn base and help the garage pressure. And so the guard looking fired up right now.
Oh, yeah.
They know how much this match means. They know what the expectations are. They know what they're capable of. And now it's starting to come back to fruition again for them.
Well, TSM now on the Eco with just a Stinger and Sheriffs to play with are going to be tested heavily. By all intents, you would say towards C, but no intention for the guard to commit, at least not as of yet. Wait for the utility. Now they're making their way through. And actually, GMD is going to find one. That'll soften up this attack a little bit.
It will. Also, obviously TSM are going to bite on that immediately. They have low firepower. They kind of have to roll the dice a little bit here. So they're all here. They're starting to clear out Garage with the Trailblazer. You can see the guard are wanting to cut noise and try to get this defense to rotate back before they commit. But the utility that TSM is using is kind of keeping them confirmed that, hey, they're still here. We can still hold this. They're going to keep that trust in 7, the solo hold A. But they're just going to continue to kind of dice roll on this side of the map. But now, finally, the guard realized that maybe pivoting might be the best option. Or do they? Or do they?
Guiding light, not seeing anything. The guard are going to use that as an opportunity to keep the noise cut and then overwhelm C. Here we go. Golden Thunder going to be spent here. Goodness. That'll allow them in. Saya player does get affected by it, though, so a little bit slower into the site than you normally expect, but it doesn't make a difference. Rossi with an SMG, the Stinger in hand will get one, but that will be all. And honestly, that guiding light, it was nice to clear information, but the guards say, wait a second, if they're going to clear out C-Long, let's go ahead and re-hit.
Yeah, it's one of those tough calls if you're TSM where, you kind of have to, again, you have to gamble a little bit there. And so when you don't hear that they're still there off that guiding light, you think, okay, maybe they're pivoting. You roll off, and that's when the guard hits you with the ult and just storm the site. And so now they're up 9-7, but TSM back to a full buy. But this is a critical moment for TSM. Their funds are expunged on many of their players. Corey does have Tour de Force, though, so that is going to help out here.
Corey's going to pull out the scope. Took a shot at Saya player who double jumped over towards A-Long. Didn't really see too much. Trailblazer will confirm 2 members, at least offensively, threatening through the middle of the map. And with stars being placed down, TSM is going to rotate around towards mid.
Yeah, they're looking to take into Garage right now. They're going to find a softened up side at the moment. It really is just Gamon playing in the back of the site, but the rotation back hauls is coming through. And these smokes is providing cover for them to kind of get into position here. Rossi's playing the top log, so Rosa jumps in from behind. And just like that, TSM destroy this split. Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
That was so rapid.
Yeah. It all starts, I think, first and foremost, Gamon just kind of playing it off angle, doesn't get himself trapped behind in the pits, and just sits up top, and this is just a peak from the heavens. I mean, my goodness. And then as everyone's
So well
focusing
timed.
and trying to get the trade, the timing is just executed absolutely flawlessly.
It's just a nice response from TSM. Like, while they may not have had personnel ready to help Gamon, they had utility there very quickly between the fast lane and, you know, Gamon's smoke to kind of create that wall in the center of the site to get their players out of back calls and on point to fight. And they come out on top. Really well done. Great timing on that flank garage as well.
The scope play here for Corey early through A long with support from 7 over towards Sewer. Nebulas will cover. That will push him off an instant. And Saya player, does he try to charge through with this Aldrone?
Very possible. Corey still
Trailblazer
entering alongside, though. Yeah, like you said, the Trailblazer counters that play. Corey is also still holding the fort down here at long A, but the utility finally pushes him off. And now here comes that comment spot. Here comes that push from the guard. Now they create some space, but 7 gets a big kill. Forces them away.
Seekers once again, the bane of Saya players' existence, just climbing up the double stack box, gives TSM all the intel that they need. And this Cosmic Divide is essentially going to do absolutely nothing for any intents towards A. Rotation coming up pretty quickly, though, over towards C, and Gomonda is going to be pushed off of his initial off angle. Rossi here to assist, but look at Net's positioning. He could cut off 1 or 2 here.
Oh, tested it a little bit there. Still playing the link. Rossi spots it, though, and now they have that pinned, and Sub Rosa comes in from behind on grass, and the guard are stuck in a bad way right now. They're trying to shuffle the spike back over to B, but they are a man down. They need Net to make a play to kind of save the day at this point, and Net's still looking to be the aggressor over on this link area. They also still have garage control with Jonah P, so there's still some ways back in here for the guard.
Yeah, sure are. Thing about this is you have to get a good first blood, and Jonah's gonna re-wrap. They're gonna find Gomon now with 3v3. They know exactly where this hit's coming from. It has to be coming from A-Link side. 7 though off of the flash. Oh, that's just too good. Hyperdrive in play. That'll take down 3. And now it's just down to Jonah. Gets the first, no problem. Sees the second. Oh, wait a second. He knows exactly where Rossi is for the 1v3. No! Rossi on the corner. Tidies it up, but goodness, was that ever a look for Jonah.
That was very close for the guard. I mean, you think about it, TSM won out a lot of the skirmishes. Like, there was so many, like, space and utility exchanges over on the A side of the map, but, you know, eventually TSM comes out on top thanks to the Seekers and catching Saya player and, you know, pushing them back. Did you see the guard trying to go potentially for the C hit? They get swatted off of that as well. Here's the moment with Saya player I was referring to. So then they try to pivot back to C. Then Sub Rosa flanks them, they're getting boxed in, so they just get pinched in the B. They have to do something, right? But somehow, some way, they almost pull it off. But Rossi able to get the clutch and does eventually get TSM the victory. Just a much harder path than they probably expected.
Golly. 9-9. Full purchase for both sides. Rolling Thunder for Rossi. Jonah 1 off. Trent, Hunter's Fury earned. And it looks like there very well could be early point of contact made here at C, depending on what comes off of the recon board. And Jonah's going to take this as an opportunity to move on in, but it's Command on that! A little snap to get the second. Keeps things a little bit more defensively significant towards C as the Rolling Thunder comes through to clear, and the guard will bring the spike on site.
Yeah, that was big. They were so close to the corner, really. So when 7 shoots that recon bolt, they know he's double stacked, and they're able to trade him out pretty quickly. Gamon, I have to admit, makes a nice play through Rolling Thunder for 2 frags, but Saya player equalizes from platform, gets it into a 3 versus 2, spike down. Now their lockdown slows this retake down a little bit here. Valen finds the timing on the Sub Rosa, and that should be it, really.
Wow.
Man, tit
all
for
took was
tat
one
right
recon
now.
bolt, man. Yeah, it really is. So Corey will save naturally, and we get to a very crucial round coming up here. TSM, I believe, still have enough to purchase, but
yeah. Because think about the dynamics of that. Gamon probably has his flash going, so he can't shoot the recon bolt, so it forces 7 to have to do so. And they're right there to get him as soon as they hear his gunfire off. And again, credit where credit's due for Gamon to get a couple of frags and, you know, try to fend that off, but Saya put out the great recovery once they take the control on site. He gets on plat, he gets a couple of big moments there towards back hauls and wraps it up for the guard. Or now, because they've done a really good job on swatting him off of feeling comfortable at long A with their utility. He's never really been able to get a shot off.
Again, too.
Yeah, did very well. Yeah, see, I mean, he just can't get a shot off.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. It is just maybe better suited to get 7 over into a position to just play through sewers. But this is the same defensive setup for TSM, largely speaking.
Yep.
He's just walking through. The guard have not spent any utility outside of the opening fault line to do this. Oh, and he
good
gets
read.
the bottom side of the foot. Rolling Thunder's out, and how about this? The guard are actually going to commit through it, and they will find Sabrosa completely concussed, but everyone else is out of sight. We go to a 4v4 with the spike making its way on.
Yeah, it's tough. You kind of hope that he can stay alive by tucking in the sewers or something like that, since obviously Corey had to get out of there after taking the shot, but it doesn't happen. The guard now has a 4-on-4 post plant with utility set up nicely. They don't even check.
Oh,
They don't even
golly.
check, and Jonah P trigger discipline. He still doesn't have to show his hand.
This can't happen. Cannot happen. Corey, this feels a little bit too familiar for him. He's stuck up top in heaven once again. 1v multiple, and Jonah's going to get 4 in the round. Oh, boy.
That's tough.
Not good news for TSM here. And now you're going to be looking not just down 11-9, but you're not going to have too much to purchase here. You're looking at having to force overtime.
Yeah, you're in a really rough spot right now economically after trying to make this round happen. It just comes from one corner uncleared on the retake, coming back to haunt them. It's also Sabrosa just getting caught by the Rolling Thunder, while Corey was able to escape after his entry at long. Sabrosa did not have the same luxury, and it wound up equalizing the numbers and giving the guard the sight. And yeah, this is it pretty much.
This is it right here, yeah. It's going to be a full force purchase coming in with 3 of those weapons being not too significant.
It's a change from Corey, though. Now he's playing a little bit more aggro and sewers
Yep.
with the rifle, and he's got Sabrosa for support. So this is a little bit more team-based setup, I guess you could say.
Deploying drone.
Well, this is going to be a lot of information for the guard. They've already walked up a long. They know that they've got 2 players kind of split up, but it doesn't make a difference.
That's just a great
Oh,
step action
boy.
from the guard. They read the
Yep.
double personnel in sewers, and they just bypass it up long and get sight, drop Cosmic Divide, and get entries and say, good luck retaking.
Yep. Well, 7 will get 1 for free. The rest could come at a cost. Nova Pulse will slow him down just a touch. Fast lane out. Command up trying to get here to help. Rossi still has a ton of utility left. They need this, and they do use it pretty nicely. Now in the corner, the clearance is looking pretty solid. 3 for 1, the exchange. Just down to Jonah, looking for the win, but not able to put it to rest. What a retake that is for TSM.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that really just was like an RKO at the top turnbuckle. It's like, you're not seeing that one coming at all. But somehow, some way, TSM get it done. I thought the guard had that dead to rights. They absorbed.
And Corey's not going to purchase? Interesting. Oh boy. Okay. This is perfect storm here for Corey. Doesn't get a weapon off, but has the headhunter looking to play off of the flank, but Ned very avidly watching it. Saya player 1 on the entry. There's the second. And oh boy, this could be 12 right here as TSM can do nothing towards C.
What a read from the guard. They hold their ground. They anticipate some trickery, and they handle it just fine. Saya player has been an absolute entry god this game, by the way. I mean, it seems like every time he's taking a first duel, he's winning it. It's been to dig them out of tough situations at times, and it's been to just create big, tidal waves of momentum. He's near 30 frags right now, having a heck of a game. Showing you that you can still make use of Jet even post-nerf, particularly in a rifling role.
Well, Hunter's Fury will open us up here for the guard. Looking to clear out over towards a link. Nothing is there, so here comes the full play, and Net once again picks up the flank.
I mean, my goodness, man.
Come on! Rolling Thunder now in play,
My
and
goodness.
that will likely just do it.
What a fantastic finish from the guard these last few rounds,
Unreal.
man. Just great reads on TSM's aggression. Their team play looks so much better, so much more what we're used to seeing out of them from last stage. And what a statement from them against TSM here to just come out swinging on Haven and reclaim it as their map.